These energies here at Zion have really inspired me. This is my third video in a row. And I only slept like 2 hours last night. I got spiritual retreat type sleep. That can happen sometimes when you're on retreat where you just don't sleep, or maybe you sleep 14 hours all day. It's a mixed bag there. I guess I just wanted to talk a little bit about like why 150 days? Why is this challenge that long? It's 5 months. I did the math. I was like, whoa, that's 5 months. And it's enough time where things can really shift. Things can really change. And I want to be this living embodiment of how keeping your word and fulfilling the responsibilities that you give to yourself. It's not like I have an employer. Well, the divine. Oh, wow. Guys. That was a great save. I'm gonna squat now. Yeah, I want to be a living embodiment of something I talked about a few weeks back, of how when you keep your word, you live in integrity, and you fulfill your responsibilities, how that just naturally leads to success. And I thought 150 days would be a long enough, a big enough time period so we could see some real transformation. And I just wanted to take you guys along on the journey with me. And as I learn how to embody these, I want to say, shapes, these energies, these principles, as I just learn how to embody more integrity, and step into more of my power, I just thought it would be really fun to take you on a day-by-day journey. And sometimes, you're gonna have 150 videos here, and sometimes it's gonna be when I'm inspired and I shoot like 3 videos, like I am right now at Zion Park, and then I might take a couple days off here, and I'll just kind of have them scheduled. But over a 150-day period, it should be plenty big of a sample size to see some real changes internally and to have them reflected in the external, because that's the fun part about this physical reality, is we get to see our internal changes reflected back to us. And it just felt like an exciting number, and it felt rather just effortless and true in my body. It was almost like I didn't even make up the number. And that takes us through the winter. So I just wanted to give a little explanation on why I'm doing it for that period, and just like the guts underneath this, the foundation of this, which is living in integrity, rebuilding my trust for myself, rebuilding the integrity I feel for myself, rebuilding just that relationship with myself, with Source, with the One, because it's all connected. And being an inspiration, being a living embodiment of someone who is living up to his word, is fulfilling his responsibilities, is becoming a trustable, sturdy, foundational type of person for other people to lean on, to rely on, to go to set this kind of example. It just feels true in my body that this is the natural next step for me. It just feels really good too. It feels solid. It feels good to like kind of start growing up. I think on the path we naturally want to put it off for a while because we never got to be all of those shapes of irresponsibility, of just being the kid, of, for a while we just want to let it hang loose. And I'm not saying that to be responsible you got to be all tight and constricted and take yourself so seriously. Not at all. I just feel that there's this new type of birthing process taking place in me, and for a while there it was like on the spiritual path, we go through puberty. It's almost like this stage of adolescence, and I just feel for myself that my process is deepening, it's maturing, and it feels just natural to have more responsibility. I think earlier in the awakening I was kind of forcing it, I was pressing it, I was trying to make it happen before I was ready. Before I was embodied enough and had enough of a foundation, and before I was deepened enough for the kind of responsibility I was trying to call forth in my life. And I kind of would just tip over, and tip over. But that's a good way to learn too, right? Is trying to rush it and go too fast. The divine will always put you in your place if that's what you're doing. And so if you're like me and you have that kind of mind, and you know, I've always put a lot of pressure on myself. I've always wanted to grow as fast as possible, right? But I found that just accepting where we are and embracing that, that's actually when things move the fastest. And so yeah, this is just me embracing and accepting where I am on the path. And just what's happening through my body. It's not even like I'm doing it at this point. It's just being done through me. God is just so ready to be this dependable, sturdy rock, tree trunk in this beingness, in this body. Wow, this is stunning. I just spontaneously, I don't even know how I got up here, walked up this rock. I hope you can see this view. This is incredible. Wasn't planning on showcasing Zion to you all in this video. I did not know I'd be hiking on top of a rock. I just kind of found myself up here, so I couldn't not share that with you guys. I don't know if the camera phone did that any justice. One of the things of being more responsible is I'm gonna make more money, I'm gonna get a better phone. We'll have better picture quality here soon. That'll be enjoyable. But yeah, it's just about embracing what's true for you and not getting ahead of yourself and forgiving yourself when you do. It's like sometimes we get ahead of ourselves and we just tip over. Other times the divine has to drag us through the sand as we have our nails just in the sand. She's just dragging us. And if you find yourself in either one of those scenarios, it's totally fine. Just gentleness. And just know, it just feels good to be where you are. Like if you're trying to be where someone else is, or if you're comparing yourself, that's just such a spiritual trap. I know I've done it. We've all done it. If you're comparing yourself to someone else and trying to be where they are or something, it's just not going to feel right in your body. And you might kind of get some results, but it's not true for you. It's not pure, you know. It's bound to unravel. It's bound to kind of just fall apart. But when you really meet yourself where you're at and you embrace that and you just savor it, oh, that's the best thing in the world. That feels so good. It's like, yes, this is actually perfect for me in this moment. That's the feeling you'll have. You're like, I don't need to be where that person is, or where that enlightened master is, or where that YouTuber is with whatever subscribers. It's like, I just get to be right here with the divine, because that's where the divine is. The divine meets you exactly where you're at, and that's where the juice is. That's where the good stuff is. So just love yourself where you're at, no hurries, and just let it happen through you naturally, because it's happening, whether you're aware of it, or whether it feels like it's not, or whether you feel like it's moving too slow, whatever, it's happening through you. And so yeah, that's basically what this video is about, is just why it's 150 days. The intentions, they're not even my intentions, they're just what I feel is happening. What will happen, what will manifest. Yeah, and it just feels really good. It feels natural. It feels like ease, just ease now. And that's what we're really, when we're meeting ourselves where we're at, that's how life feels most of the time. Sometimes there's just fierce grace no matter where we turn. But a lot of the time, if we're really embracing where we're at, we're not getting out ahead of ourselves or this way or that way, we're just floating, flowing with where we're at. That's where that ease is, that peace. Not trying to be where we think other people will love us more, or where mom and dad might want us to be, or where our friends, to impress our friends we should be here, or our spiritual buddies, or maybe even, God's love's over there. No, God's love is right here. Right where you're at, no matter where that is. It could be in the dark night, maybe you can't get out of bed, maybe you just awakened and it's terrible right now. Let it be terrible. let yourself really bask in the soup of terrible, of horrific, of dark, of sad, of depressed, of rage, you know? That's where she is. That's where the divine is. It's all divine, truly. So yeah, third video at Zion. This will be the last one, I don't know. Pretty sure this will be day 4's post out of 150. I think I'll keep a lot of them on YouTube to start, get the momentum going. And then I'll start maybe putting some on Patreon. For those of you who are paying me money every month, gotta give you something, right? And thank you so much for your support. And I will leave a donation link below if you would like to support my journey into the unknown in Las Vegas. Of course, I'll leave a link to book a session with me as well. I am now accepting sessions again, and thank you for all of you beautiful souls who are booking sessions with me. I just love connecting with you for healing and spiritual guidance sessions. Yeah, wow, this place is just incredible. It's like every time I look at something, I'm seeing it for the first time. It's just like another world here. It's just really, so awe-inspiring. All right, I love you guys. Namaste.